Rick, I won't lie to you. I use you for the reaction.
That's fair. I have no problem with that.
You have good answers, but it's for the
You are
reaction.
our reaction videos.
Yes.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. What?
Exactly.
The
That
worst
guy.
thing I've ever heard.
Thank you.
What bullshit is this?
Is guacamole a fruit salad?
What is the best milkshake for bringing boys to the yard?
Ostriches are dinosaurs.
Don't piss off old people.
New game,
What do you mean it gives you Arby's mouth?
artisanal muck duck balls.
I think they call that autofellatio.
I want to high five a shark.
Welcome to Bar Banter. Relax, have a drink with us as we debate the most controversial topics in the world today.
On today's podcast, we talk about who is the best villain in a sports movie.
I'm watching a cat
What's
do
the
AI
next
McDonald's fries.
generational lie?
Oh, is it
And
like putting
lastly-
in the fryer?
Lastly,
Like it's a whole thing.
we build
I want that.
Look
the
at
bar
this poor
banter.
guy.
That's
Oh, I don't like
insane. That broke
Why
me.
is he eating? Why is he eating behind the counter? That's unsanitary.
I don't. I feel ways. We build the bar banter evil lair, but first, Richard Madison, what are you drinking?
Wait, what are the topics?
Oh, look at this little guy.
Look at him. Just look at him.
Wait, are you talking to me?
Yeah, what are you drinking?
Oh. I don't know. I have a margarita tonight, and apparently
Ooh.
AI doing cat things in McDonald's. I don't know.
Working at
Oh,
McDonald's,
the best drinks that.
awkwardly eating a hamburger.
Yes, I'm high.
Speaking of generational lies,
the Butters is getting
AI.
real high on life. Drew, what do you got going on over there?
I'm just being a basic bitch. I really want to try something different next time, but I'm going with the tequila soda. Travis, what are you drinking?
So before we do box night, I am doing something different, and I took a page out of Drew's book, and I'm drinking a tequila soda, but it's a lemon lime soda,
Ooh.
so it's like a margarita soda, almost.
Is it like actually like not name brand, but is it like Sprite lemon lime or like
Ab.
LaCroix lemon lime?
It's like LaCroix lemon lime.
Nice.
Oh, that's what I do. I
Yeah.
do like orange or tangerine.
It's good. It's refreshing. But that's gonna be my we'll call that my daily drinker.
17.
17. We've done 17.
I think we've done 17. 9.
9, we've done 9. I'm just gonna take
Pass.
You can't see which ones. You can't see it on my screen.
11.
We've not done 11. It's orange. I don't know what that means. I just realized that they have colors. We've done it, and the bottle's empty.
Damn it.
Why did I do that?
6.
6. That is tenacious D. Okay. Number 6. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that distillery. Starts with the T and ends in Honolulu. On the nose, plenty of oak, backed up by rounded cereal notes. On the palate, runny caramel, punchy malt, and a hint of black tea. And the finish is earthly spices. What is runny caramel? Is that just like not something you have
more
to
in shape than caramel.
I was gonna say, is that something you have to chase down?
Yeah.
I don't like it immediately.
Go. Clinky. It's good. That's it's very smooth, very
Give me more. Give me more than it's
very
good.
sweet, very easy. There's like zero burn. This is almost.
Would you call it a villain in a movie?
No.
Mm.
It's
Would you
almost
put
like
it
a
in a lair.
It's almost like a floral bourbon, which is kind of weird. I feel like floral notes are the villains of bourbon.
Are you lying to us?
If you would have asked any of those questions, would it have fit?
We're gonna make Travis quit.
I feel like this is either A, my origin story, my villain origin story,
Mexican Joker.
or B, this is just the new sport.
What?
This is a new sport.
No,
Sport. Villain sport.
no.
Wow.
Anyway, gentlemen, our first topic tonight. What is the
Bears?
best villain in a sports movie? Before I looked into this, I was like, I know exactly who it's going to be.
Ooh.
I know exactly who it's gonna be.
And then I found some really good ones. And I don't know which one I'm going to pick first or which one I'm going to pick, so I'm going to let you guys go to hopefully narrow down my choices.
I mean, I'll throw it out there, and I hope this is what everyone was thinking, but White Goodman
Nice.
from Dodgeball.
Global Jim Purple
Yeah,
Cobras.
Global Jim Purple Cobras. Just the absolute maniac of a man that he is, having trained his body,
Mhm.
and then trying to take down a gym in a dodgeball tournament. It defies logic, and yet seems in the movies seems so realistic, and like something that, at least in today's day and age, is something that someone would do.
Yeah.
And then it almost has that like fat bastard kind of aspect to it
At the end, yes.
at the end, of like, he's lost everything and has reverted to his terrible ways. And it almost makes me think that someday they'll try and reboot it and do like a Dodgeball 2, and they left it in such a good place. But he, to this day, is one of my nobody makes make believe I have no blood. Nobody.
He's definitely one of my favorite villains. I don't know if he's necessarily the best villain. And I don't know what we quantify or how we quantify best villain. Is that how evil they are? How intelligent they are? How close to winning they were? I don't know. And that's kind of where I'm at of who I'm gonna pick. So it sounds like you're going with favorite villain.
It also so we're talking best villain in a sports movie.
Mhm.
So I think the parameters are different from like a Bond villain or any
Mhm.
superhero movie or anything where there's a villain involved, because they have to be involved in the sport, or the reason they're in the sport. The reason I like him is because the only reason he's in the sport is to oppose the other gym.
Mhm.
So he's doing it just out of like absolute spite.
Yeah,
Not
that's
even
fair.
not even just like he was not involved in dodgeball before this. He was not, a ranked player. He was not, didn't have a team that was already in the game. The only reason he did this was to try and bring down the other gym. So I feel like as a villain, that's something to hold on to, is I'm doing this just to crush my enemy for no other reason.
Mhm.
It was not a competitiveness. It was not, I want to win because I'm good at this. It was not because I think you're better than me. It's because I just want to take your gym, put it under, and make you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah, it's pretty wicked, pretty villainous. Rick, who you got?
Oh man.
Right, there's more than you. You started looking some up, and there's more.
There's
some
a
good-
lot. Like
There's some good ones.
yeah, I like Dwight and that's where I was.
It's White Goodman, right?
What did I say?
Dwight
White
with a D.
Goodman.
Yeah, sorry. So close.
So-
White Goodman, yes.
Basically the same character.
yeah.
But through that, I guess where I'm where I'm struggling is the best sports
Mhm.
film the arc, the story behind it,
Right.
or is it
The lore.
I was even going with the most correct
Okay.
sports villain is where I was tempted to take it as
Ooh,
well. Like, is this best sports villain not really a villain? He just happens to be sort of like the anti-hero
the
kind of
antagonist.
thing.
Hmm.
And I don't know if I've gotten there yet on that one, but that's through that conversation, there's a lot of different things that you could go with. Because like I'm trying to find like is Ivan Drago
Yeah.
maybe the best sports villain because
Mhm.
he's not really
Ooh, yeah.
he's not necessarily a villain, even though if he dies, he dies. But
I think
or is it a
he
Shooter McGavin type of character?
could be a Shooter McGavin.
Like where
I mean,
Shooter.
I almost put in like William Zabka.
The
Yeah.
Monstars, maybe.
Yep.
Ooh,
Yep.
damn.
Like
Everyone
Yeah.
you've mentioned is on my list.
I don't, and these are a bunch of non-answers because I don't really know.
Or if we're just going down the list here, how about we do this?
Do it.
I'm gonna read you guys my list, and then from that we'll pick. I think we'll be able to
Can I
maybe
throw an
define.
honorable mention?
Absolutely. We're basically gonna do all on.
No,
We're
yeah,
gonna do a
yeah.
giant pool. So
The
give me.
Cowboys from the Little Giants,
Yep.
just as a whole, like
So Ivan Drago, the Warden from The Longest Yard,
yes, great one.
Big
Mhm.
Dickhead,
Mm-hmm.
Sensei Kreese of the Cobra Kais, the action, not the kid, because I think he was just put in a bad place, but the sensei
Yep.
was teaching them. All of Team Iceland from Mighty Ducks 2.
Yes, exactly.
White Goodman,
Okay.
Judge Smales from Caddyshack,
Yep. These are
Ernie
all-
McCracken from Kingpin, Shooter McGavin, the Monstars, Cowboys, Little Giants, and then I had two other wild cards.
Jean Girard. I haven't heard Jean Girard yet.
Who's that?
Talladega Nights.
Yes, yes.
You like crepes?
It's a good compromise, isn't it?
We've defined
Very
sports
very thin.
kind of before in
We
a
have.
unreleased episode or a redacted episode. Is Mortal Kombat a sport? Because Shang Tsung's a really terrible villain.
It's not a sport.
It's a blood sport.
Yeah,
I'll give
it's
it
not
to
not
you.
a sport. Yeah.
Shang Tsung's a really
they're
terrible
competing.
villain,
It's a competitive sport,
and he's
if we're
trying to take
gonna-
over all of Earthrealm. And so, to me, that's pretty heinous. And then,
Oh, good word, Joyce.
for a good 90% of the movie, this character is the villain until you actually meet them. But the Beast, aka
Yes,
Hercules,
great pick.
from the Sandlot. Who I don't know.
Great.
They're all the best villain, but they can't be. So who's the best villain? I don't know anymore.
I don't know.
Yeah, if we're going, I don't know.
Like if we're
Because
going pure evil, it's Shang Tsung. Like
True.
it almost has to
True.
be. But if we're going like
Or I don't know. I think Shooter rivals him.
I think Shooter rivals him a little bit, just because it's more widely known and accepted.
Yeah. But the Monstars were trying to take over all of Toonville.
Yeah, but they were so shit at it.
They were.
Until they became the Monstars.
They were literally like the comic relief.
And actually, hold on. Let me take let's rewind that. They weren't shit at it. They actually had all of them basically in the gymnasium, scared out of their minds, like we're gonna have to play them in basketball. Like no, like they were about to take over, and Bugs was like, "Hold on, wait a minute. What if we played you in basketball?" And they're like, "Okay." So like they almost had him. It was Bugs' cunning that got him out of it, but like they were pretty close, and all they did was show up because they had blasters, and the Looney Tunes didn't. I think Wile E. Coyote got fried in one of the scenes, so
yeah, when does he not?
give him a little more credit. like if I'm thinking evil, right? Villain technically evil? Not necessarily. Like they are, but like
But I will say, I think a villain is a differentiator, different.
differentiator. Yeah,
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 that
yeah.
word between an anti-hero.
Yes.
So to me, like you can't go Iceland in Mighty Ducks because to me they're not
Right.
a
I'm okay with
villain.
that.
They're just so I think that's where I'm
And,
gonna.
and there's a difference between, and
Mhm.
I think what you're trying to say is there's a difference between villain and antagonist.
Yes,
Yes.
that's
Because
exactly what I'm
anti-hero is
trying
a
to say.
completely different trope.
Yes,
Yeah, I agree. They're the antagonist. I think same for Cowboys and Little Giants.
no,
They're
yeah,
yeah.
I agree. Yeah, they're
Um,
to me not a villain.
not a villain.
I think villain. I think you have. There's a certain level of pettiness, nastiness, and just done right. Uh, do battery, if you will.
Do battery.
Do battery.
We're the Banter podcast does not condone anyone who do battery. Do not commit battery.
Battery with a D, not with a T.
I need to, I need to look it up.
Yep.
From
I think do battery is not an actual word, but battery.
but it is referenced in one of my favorite South Park episodes.
Well, there
So
we go. If we're coming back to like someone who's just like pure evil at heart, I keep going back to Sensei Kreese. Just like has no regard. There's nothing redeemable about him. Like I could almost say there's something redeemable. Shooter McGavin is a dickhead, but like he was the tour champion first or was close to it. He was there, and then some, hotshot long driver shows up and like ruins everything. He was a dick, but at the end of the day, he was a petty golfer. There's probably something
Sure.
somewhere. Whereas Sensei Kreese was just like, if I saw these kids in the back alley, I'd probably just kill them.
sure, I'm okay with that.
So that's where my head's at. Like, I don't think I like the idea of the Beast being the best villain, but that's not true. Ivan Drago's still in the running for me. I like White Goodman, but he doesn't. Is he villainous enough to be the best? Like, if we put all these guys, if we put all these villains together,
I was like, just because he's a bad villain doesn't mean he's not a villain. But
if he's a bad,
no, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
he's a villain, but is he a good villain? Is he the best villain?
no,
I'm just saying he spent a lot of resources
No doubt that he's a bad person.
to go out of his way.
and I no doubt that he's a committed villain. I just don't think he's necessarily.
Here's the thing about a villain is in a lot of the movies we're talking about, do they succeed in their villainy?
Most don't.
Most don't. And I think we got to take that into account is like most don't, but did they get any traction?
So what movie has a sequel? Because the villain won in one of them. I don't know.
Thanos, but that's not. That's
Yeah,
not
we're
sports
talking
movie.
sports movies.
No, I know.
He asked the question. He didn't say sports.
Yeah. Gene Gerard technically didn't lose.
He didn't.
Mhm.
If we want to take the criteria of winning, Chick Hicks from the movie Cars did win the Piston Cup.
Ooh, ooh.
Well, deep cut. Deep
He
cut.
did sabotage the king on his way to victory. Lightning McQueen was about to win. He stepped on the brakes and went back to go help the king, while Chick Hicks beat Lightning McQueen.
You come to the king, you better not miss.
So if we're going
If
by
we're-
criteria of did they win, it's Chick Hicks is the best villain.
If we're going in that same vein, do we consider walk-offs a competitive sport? Because Hansel
Mm.
in Zoolander,
He's not a villain though.
is he not?
He is an anti-hero. He's more anti-hero than
was
Mugatu-
the villain.
No,
Mugatu
Mugatu's
obviously
the
obviously the villain in it, but not directly competitive with Zoolander.
Yes, but in that walk-off, I think that he's just the anti-hero.
Thanks, Billy Zane.
I need a minute to comprehend this.
I'm willing to give you sport. I'm willing to do that
I need
for the
I need
purposes of this
moments.
episode.
He
It's
pulled his
walk-off.
underwear
Yeah,
out
I'm
of
not
his pants.
saying I'm not impressed. but I don't think that makes him a villain. I just think that makes him
He was the antagonist for a majority of that film.
antagonist does not equal villain.
And Zoolander considered, you have to think about the protagonist's view of that person, considered him a villain for a majority of that movie, didn't even think that Mugatu had anything to do with it.
That's another good question. Is the person a villain from the protagonist standpoint or from the audience standpoint? Ooh,
That's where I bring in something like Karate Kid.
so yeah, but I agree. Daniel is an asshole, but if we're gonna pick a villain from Karate Kid, it's Kreese. He's literally training kids to like physically injure other kids.
to take other kids down.
Yeah, I'm between Kreese, Ivan Drago. I'll throw White Goodman in there because I do think he's a villain for sure. He's just not very good at it, but he is kind of good at it.
I do really like the Chick Hicks though. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Give me White. I'll leave camp for White Goodman.
I'm not mad about it. I just
I'll take it because my secondary would be John Kreese.
yeah. Why don't we just
But-
co best villain is Kreese and White Goodman. I think
Yeah.
we've just this isn't one of those like one or the other where it's like, oh, there's only a couple options. There's so many good options for this. We're
So many
splitting
good ones.
hairs here. Maybe we'll call if Danny shows up, we'll ask him and he could be the deciding factor. We'll say the best villain is John Kreese, Sensei Kreese, and White Goodman with honorable mention of Chick Hicks.
I'd put Shooter McGavin in that honorable mentions as well.
He's definitely up there for sure. For sure. I am going to tell my children that Happy Gilmore is a documentary though and lie to them.
Are we talking about also the German team?
I'm gonna tell the next generation in my family that Happy Gilmore is a documentary.
The German team from Pitch
lie.
Perfect.
Generational.
Yes, what a great pick! Oh
Not
my
a sport.
god,
Not a
Das
sport.
Sound Machine.
Not a sport.
Das Sound Machine.
Oh my god,
We are Das Sound Machine.
Hey, real quick. You listening? Cool. Do me a favor. On your app, wherever you're listening to this podcast, there's a button to follow or subscribe or some sort of a notification type bell. Whatever you do, don't click them. Don't click those buttons. Don't do it. Or click it. Whatever it doesn't matter. Just fine. It's fine. Just click it. It's cool. Just do whatever you want. Preach.
Yeah, on generational lies. We were lied to, guys. Bears, they don't sleep all winter.
What?
That's not a thing. Hibernation is like, yeah, they sleep a bunch, but they still like will defend themselves and they'll still like have kids.
What are you saying?
I'm saying bears don't sleep for 4
You hear that,
months out of
Ron?
the year.
Bears.
Beats Battlestar
Battlestar
Galactica.
Galactica.
Yeah, bears don't sleep for 4 months straight. Hibernation is like a slowing down of the metabolism. They don't do as much. They're very lethargic, but like they're asleep like 16 hours a day. It's a lot, but it's not just like a consistent 4 months of just, they don't just turn off for 4 months. And so I was lied to, and I don't appreciate that. So I want to establish now, what are we going to teach our kids in school that's a lie, like bears hibernating? That's what I want to know. What are we going to tell them that we know isn't true, but we're just going to make it up and lie?
I think we should keep the turning the light on in the car is a crime. I think we should keep that one going.
That it's a crime?
Yeah.
Was that something that you were told?
Yeah, like you would get pulled over.
It's illegal.
It's illegal, yes.
I did not get that
dome
one.
light. Yes.
So you want to keep one. You don't want to make a new one. You just
I
want
just
keep
want to. I want it on the recording. I just
That's
want,
fair. Okay.
that. I need that on the
Understood.
recording.
Understood. I'm going to throw out there that, technology ones, like what can we do to help them, or to bring this into the 21st century? And I was like, what if voice assistants could get jealous?
Yes.
Like
What if it could?
Alexa and Siri can like hear you talk to other devices, and they like if you do it when they're listening, they'll act out and like be passive aggressive the next time you ask them a question. And so you have to be nice to your Alexa or Siri or in my case, Google. That I'm going to teach my kids like you got to be nice to your devices or they're going to be mean back to you.
I always say thank you to Siri every time she
Exactly.
does something for me. I had a similar one, Travis, where not necessarily you need to be nice to it, but that technology is always listening. So you need to be careful what you say around your phone because
That's just true.
it is actually true, but
Yeah.
it will influence like what you see, what you are served, what different things that especially like if I had kids that your parents can see, like Google is listening for me, basically,
Hmm.
or the AI is listening for me to hear what you say and reporting back to me. Technically, it can do, but as a generational lie of like, no matter where you are, like you've always got your phone on you, you've always got your laptop, you've always got, technology with you.
Hmm.
You need to be careful what you say, or you don't even need to be careful. Like, I can always know as your parent what you've been talking about, what you and your friends are talking about, and I I will know what it is.
Yeah. The other one I had just while Rick reboots real quick,
Thanks.
um, that the moon is actually what helps plants grow, and they grow more in a full moon, and like the gravity of the moon actually like gently tugs on plants and like pulls them up and makes them stretch out and grow longer.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely true. Someone could convince me that through math. I mean, the plants already follow the sun, right, to absorb energy, and it's got a gravitational pull. There's some sort of force pulling on that plant to potentially bring it towards it. And the moon can do the same thing.
If it can do that with tides, then
Yeah, if it can do it with the ocean, it can
why
do it
not
with a
plants?
plant. Yeah.
I had one revolving around like change,
Ooh.
like coins. At a certain point in our society, cash money and change will eventually become
Obsolete.
potentially obsolete. And so teaching, if I had a child, teaching them that like change isn't actually real money. It's
Mm.
just kind of like a bonus that you get whenever you make a transaction. But if you give me all of the change, eventually I can like turn it into real cash.
Hmm.
And then I just have a jug in my closet where I keep 5 pounds or a 5 gallon jug of change like my grandparents used to do.
Nope.
But just having the kids be like, oh yeah, the only thing that matters as far as cash goes is like actual dollar bills
Hmm.
and not the actual like coins themselves, especially like pennies and nickels and dimes. Quarters, I think, are still fairly relevant because
Yeah.
there are machines that still use those. But for the most part, being like, oh, and if you pick something up off the ground, you should give it to me because I can eventually like turn it into something, but it's not
Hmm.
actually worth anything.
I do lament, is that the right word? I don't know.
Mm.
That we won't have that anymore. We are not able to collect coins in the same way that our parents did, just because we're just such a cashless society nowadays. Like I know Drew and I were a lot more. I know Rick, you did work in restaurants, but Drew and I were in there a lot longer. And like, yeah, we got cash tips a bunch, and we got coins, and that was the thing, and we could save it. But that was for a very short time when things were becoming digital, and now it's like some places just don't even take cash. So
Yeah.
I don't those 5 gallon water jugs or however big they were, you're not going to see them filled with coins anymore. Like that's just not going to be a thing. It would take 4 lifetimes to fill up one jug versus 50 years. I don't know if lament was the right word for that, but that's what I'm going to go with.
No, I liked it.
I think it's
not the
close.
wrong. It's not the wrong word.
It's not the wrong word. Rick, you got anything?
No, I don't.
No? Okay.
I got nothing.
Then you get to pick. Is it going to be AI gets jealous? Is it going to be
I love
your
AI gets jealous.
AI gets jealous? Yeah. All right.
Mm,
From now
That's a
on,
good one.
we have to be nice to our devices because they have feelings and we have to treat them with respect or they're going to be mean to
They
us.
may not just work the right way.
They might just take a little bit longer to get you the answer you need.
I'm fine. It's fine.
It's
Loading.
fine. I'm
Loading.
fine. Don't ask me if I'm fine. I'm fine. I already said I'm fine. Which
what's
which
fine?
AI are we gonna have
The
in our evil
greatest
layer?
layer of all time.
Which AI are we gonna have in our evil layer?
I gotta go pee.
Go pee.
My name is Dr. Dimitri Big. I'm an adult, geriatric, and forensic fellowship trained psychiatrist and the host of the Psych Effect podcast. On this show, you'll get my take on sports, politics, current events, and world news in the context of mental health. Why me? Because I've been through all domains of mental health care. Inpatient units, outpatient clinics, academic appointments, university hospitals, nursing homes, assisted living facilities, and private practice. I've also led forensic inpatient hospital units, worked in prisons, assisted attorneys, and interviewed individuals both in criminal and civil forensic cases. I'll break down complex psychological and psychiatric issues in a fun and entertaining way and speak with interesting people and experts from different fields and professions. Join me weekly because everything has a psych effect. The Psych Effect is available on any podcast platform you use and follow on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Anyway, guys,
You know who also has a lot of meetings?
we have
Villains.
guys, we have
And
of
their
all the
layers.
wonderful things we have a college, Banter University, but now we need our evil layer, and I want to know what's going to be in the Banter evil layer. What first of all, let me ask this question: what kind of location are we going to be in? Are we going to be like a mountain fortress, like a tall corporate building, or like a brewery? What's the vibe of our evil layer going to be?
I'm a big proponent of the volcano layer.
Okay. I don't like hot places, so I don't know if I want to do that.
You don't necessarily. It depends
It's
on where
real
you are
hot.
because
It's real hot in volcanoes.
that's why we have a lot of money and you can have the AC going the entire time, Travis.
Okay.
But you've got geothermal energy, which is basically an unlimited resource
You're not wrong.
you can tap into. And I like just the aesthetic of lava, all the things that can go along with it. If we want to get into a little bit like, helipad, you've potentially where you are in the world, you've got access to water. So you could do like a boat launch or pier or something like that.
So
You've got-
you're thinking Volcano Island, not volcano in like
Wyoming.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm
I was
thinking
thinking
like
Mount St. Helen kind of volcano at first, and I was like,
no, I'm thinking island
like
because
Hawaii volcano,
I like the exclusivity and
Okay.
the
like a
generally
Doctor Evil lair.
ish. Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate that desire. I don't think that's us.
Right.
I think we're more of like a skyscraper penthouse vibe.
Okay.
And personally don't love that.
No.
Not a heights person, but I think that's more the bar banter vibe is just a nice little card swipe in just a normal elevator, and it takes us to this.
What if it took us to the basement though? What if
I wouldn't be opposed to basement either.
Okay.
Basement sounds cheaper than penthouse. So
Well, I mean, like I imagine in your scenario, because
Like,
I thought of a bunch of different, like our layer has multiple floors in the basement.
sure,
It's
I
not
wouldn't
just
be.
like one basement layer, so that way you're not all the way at the top, so your fear of heights is gone.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, in this, mythical scenario, I'm not, I can
Mhm.
handle my height situation. But also, sure, if I get building layer is mine, where like
Okay.
you just walk into a building, off the road, and you just swipe a little card, and whether you're skyscraper penthouse or even basement layer, because I think
I
you still get the
do
same vibe. I think the view is just different.
I
Okay.
do like that, Rick, because the skyscraper could be the front
That's
for
where I was
whatever,
gonna go.
evil thing we're doing. And
That's
it's
right.
very, very like what is Dollhouse. I don't know if you guys ever saw that TV show, but like the skyscraper on top was the front for everything, and then everything underneath was, layers and levels of underground, bad badness.
For sure.
So it's funny. I like the idea of a front. Where my head went to first was like it's a very expansive layer, and we'll get into this in a minute. But I was thinking more of like a mattress firm front with like a speakeasy door
Hmm.
kind of vibe, where it's like,
Mattress firm specifically.
well, because I just there are not that many people buying mattresses, right?
No, you're right. That's why I was
There's no
curious.
way those are all money laundering schemes. They
and
have to be.
especially nowadays from those places, because I think the last two mattresses I've bought have been online.
Costco, right? I'm not buying a mattress at Mattress Firm.
For sure.
One person works there just to turn the lights on and off, basically. So that was kind of my idea. Was like, what's a clearly obvious money laundering thing, and like put a speakeasy in it. But I didn't know if that was too on the nose, and it wouldn't just be the speakeasy. That would be like the bar banter part of it, but like we'd still have the rest of the layer probably underground or in the rest of the shopping mall. Because I think that would be kind of cool, like an abandoned shopping mall kind of thing. That kind of vibe where we could like even host other villains and evil people in our evil lair.
Okay. All right.
Is kind of what I was thinking, but I don't know what do we how do we I don't want to do a volcano. That's too hot.
So hot.
It's too hot. It's not our vibe.
But okay,
Rick and I don't even like the sand. Like
there's no it's volcanic
you said like island.
rock.
Yeah. But we'd have to like there's sand outside. I don't want to see sand.
You're a supervillain. You don't even ever have to touch it. You have a helicopter to take you away.
Mm.
Okay, bear with me on this. A cul-de-sac.
Yes.
I got both of y'all on that
Yes.
one.
It's a cul that's it. That's it. It's a
It's a
cul-de-sac.
cul-de-sac and normal houses all around. Those are like normal
Yes.
everyday houses.
Done.
And then in the center of the cul-de-sac, underneath the cul-de-sac, is the secret lair.
Mhm.
And there are catacombs.
Catacombs. Yep. Yep.
Must have catacombs.
Yeah, you have to have catacombs.
And there are like secret garages where like our supervillain cars can come up from outside and into that, but
Kind of like the
like
Bat Cave, like through a waterfall. Yeah.
storm drain entrances, maybe like a waterfall or two, or
Yeah, there's a creek that runs outside of all the houses. Yeah,
all the way
and if you
around
go
on the
if you
back.
go to the
Yeah.
right spot, it'll push a button. You lift the
Yep.
rock and there's a button and it takes
And this is the perfect place for potential children to have an origin story.
Ooh.
Where they fall in
Oh.
to the
I don't-
secret lair from
I'm
an
not-
outside.
We're not kidnapping kids.
No, like our kids,
Oh.
your kids,
Okay.
to have an origin story as a villain where they find the secret lair by falling in to a storm drain or like a hole in the ground that leads to the secret lair, and they find it and they're like, Dad, what is this place? And you finally get to introduce them to the family business, which
I'm
is
okay with that.
villainy.
Definitely cul-de-sac. What else is gonna be in our lair, our evil lair? I think we've already talked about catacombs. We've talked about. I think we have to have an elevator of sorts somewhere. We just have to like a long elevator where it's like glass and you can kind of see all of the happenings inside of that layer. Have to have central air conditioning, fiber internet. We have to have good connections. We have to get fast speeds, and I think a Taco Bell.
Obs.
Yeah, absolutely have to have a Taco
Yeah,
Bell.
just have to have a Taco Bell. What other things do we have to have?
I really want like after a really long day of like evil plans and like sending manifestos and executing just villainy, I want a place to relax.
Yep.
So I need like a spa
Okay.
with a full-time masseuse, definitely a sauna for a little schwitz,
Yeah.
um maybe a pool, like heated
Mm-hmm.
pool,
Sure.
so I can do some laps, that kind of thing. Just a full like recreation area where it's all about comfort and mud baths and maybe like a face mask or two.
Self-care.
Yeah, self-care, almost like a personal YMCA
Mm.
Okay.
Why does
for
that have to be
me to.
YMCA?
It doesn't have to be a YMCA.
I want to have a. I don't remember this exactly. Was the Fortress of Solitude cold? Right, because it's in like Antarctica.
Yeah,
Right. I'm thinking I want like an
but he was
ice.
also Superman, so
No, I understand that,
you
but
didn't
I
really
kind of like
feel it.
the ice cave aesthetic for our walk-in fridge for our beer. So
Yes.
not just a walk-in fridge and not just like some 7-Eleven, like, oh, it's the beer cave and like it's just a bunch of beer cans stacked on top of each other. I want kind of like a large room style with like icicle stalactites hanging
Hmm,
down
hmm.
and you can like crack a
Like the
beer
I.
out of the wall.
What Bond movie was it where they had the ice palace?
Yes. And like the ice hotel.
Tomorrow Never Dies,
So
or I
it's
don't remember.
some combination of
Rick.
date and dies and doesn't.
I like the idea. I want some sort of not necessarily a henchman, but kind of that.
I'll get there. I
Like
Mhm.
like the idea of
Yeah, I've
henchmen.
got I've
like a
got
like
I've got
a bar.
ideas on henchmen.
See, I want like a
A
barman
bunk. Oh, I
kind
want
of
like a
thing.
bunkhouse.
So I want, in the words of Virtue Rich, you have your own McDonald's. Like I don't know if I necessarily want that, but
I
I
mean, we'll add it to the list.
also wouldn't be mad. But I want like a bar kind of vibe. So you have like your bartender,
Yeah, it's
henchman,
like a speakeasy.
sidekick kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't even have to be speakeasy, like, but sure, we can fancy it up. But like that's what, as much as making your own drinks is fun. Like if I want to come
Oh
in,
no, we
have my little bartender slash
Oh yeah, I'll come
henchman.
in. I'll come in on like weekends and
I want
give
to
the
come
guy
to
the day. Give the guy the day off.
Yeah, I want to come to my bar. I want my henchman to be like, who we fucking up now, and be like, yo, pour me my blue moon. Let me tell you about it. And
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
Okay.
But he also has a shotgun above the bar and is just
right,
ready
right,
to,
right,
yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Rick, here's what I'm thinking. We have the cul-de-sac. All of us have our houses around it that like, normal everyday houses where we just live and
Sure,
do our
sure.
thing. Underneath, we have the lair, and then that leads to the manor
Ooh,
on the hill. That's like kind of the creepy manor that no one really goes to.
okay.
Very like rich, hoity-toity manor that nobody really knows what it is.
Ooh,
And that is our like weekend hangout spot. And that's got like, the ballroom and the bar and the billiards room, where we
I think
actually go and it's the retreat.
I don't dislike that, but I view that more of like we'll say the public facing entertainment space for manor type of thing.
But I don't want anybody else there.
But I feel like
It's
whatever.
Wayne Manor where nobody goes, and it's like creepy and kind of derelict, but on the inside it's swanky as fuck and just for us.
I don't know why I just imagine like because we were talking about the ways of getting to our lair and it sounded like it was mostly underground.
Yeah, but the way to get to the manor is underground.
Okay, so the
Nobody
lair
ever
isn't
sees.
underground, the pathways to the manor, which you could just get to by
Also,
helicopter and you could see. I don't know, it may not be secretive enough.
no, I'm saying like the actual place where all of the crime happens
Yeah,
and the villainy is the underground place, but where we go to hang out,
got it. Okay,
you
but
get
but I
to underground, but it's a manor on the hill
got it.
behind the cul-de-sac.
I don't. I don't dislike that, but I think I'd want an underground bar as well. Like
Yes.
We
have
could do that.
multiple, like one for hanging out, one for just like we need to take a meeting and we just want to do it at the bar
Hmm.
kind of
We
thing.
definitely need a meeting room with like a big black like obsidian table
Yes.
and the
Giant leather chairs
most comfortable giant leather chairs
in one beanbag.
Yes.
for Danny.
Right.
Danny gets the beanbag. Other things I was thinking of, we need a giant vault with a giant, huge lock. I don't know what we're putting in there, but we need a giant vault, like room-sized, multi-pin lock, and then we need some sort of throne. I feel like that we all take turns sitting on, depending on what games we won. Secret passageways and a specific
Mm.
room for battle pong.
Yes, absolutely. And I think for secret passageways, everybody gets a secret passageway to everybody else's house
Yes.
and none of them meet up. So like if I want to go meet Travis in the night and I don't want anybody to know about it. But then there's also a secret passageway that just kind of meets up at the battle pong room.
Yeah, this is just I just
And
want to be able I want
that's
to be
the
able to pull
unofficial
a
meeting
sconce.
place.
I want to pull a sconce and a door open. That's all I want.
Yeah.
What before I want to get to henchmen because that's a thing. But
Yes.
I think we need defense. If we're gonna have a secret layer, we need to have traps.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first thing we need is that I like to think of it as speakeasy. It doesn't have to be speakeasy, but in that speakeasy, we have quote sirens, bar wenches that come up
Yes.
to you and try to flirt with you, and eventually just spike your drink and put you away somewhere in our brig. I don't
Or
know,
a trap.
jail. It's a trap. It's a
Holding
trap.
cell.
Holding cell. Yes. And so it's just we employ some scantily clad women that or men that hit on people who try to infiltrate our lair.
I'm
Kind of
I'm
like
just
fembots. I'm thinking fembots that have guns that come out of their tits.
Effective.
Yeah. Britney Spears is a fembot. We just lost
true.
Drew. He just hated that idea. I'm gonna keep going. I think we need a room, like a torture room, but the way we torture them is we pump in people singing karaoke, but those people specifically are like
Bad.
specifically my thought was like the off-brand cruise ship entertainment crew
Yes.
where they're like to some hiring manager they're like good enough, but like to everyone else like this person's not good.
Yes.
That's one of my traps.
I like it.
I do like the doormat if somebody comes up to your
Yep.
door and rings the doorbell type of trap. That's always been one of my
Classic.
favorites.
Classic trap.
And also if anybody happens to get into the manor, because I'm going to keep bringing back to that.
Yeah, I like the idea of a manor.
But they like go and try and pull like the book on the bookshelf type of thing.
Yeah, the sconce, the book.
It turns around and they're just
and the fireplace is on the other side.
Yep. And just immediately trapped in some sort of like hellscape.
Yes, I love that. I don't want I don't want death traps, right? That's not what I'm going for. I'm not thinking death traps. I'm thinking more like like the sirens was a trap. The mat is a trap. I think we could have
psychological.
Yeah. I'm trying to make them bar themed. Oh, food poisoning. They order bad apps at our bar. We tell the cook to specifically give them the bad shrimp, bad coconut shrimp as a trap.
Doesn't wash his hands after going to the bathroom.
Ha ha ha! Got him. Rick, you got any traps for our evil lair?
I don't know if I have any traps, like the punishments. I was
or mechanisms
on board with. I think like one of them should be like that guy and like you're at the bar
Mm.
and that guy sits next to you.
Oh yeah, we have to employ that guy.
And so
Yeah,
like
we
you're
do.
like it's like the trap door kind of thing to where if like you're the uninvited visitor, you drop in and you're just next to that guy until we let you
Shit.
out.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn it. Like he's always gonna try to talk to me, one up me, or that whatever the obnoxious person vibes are at the bar, but you have to endure that.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yes.
That person also takes too long to order their drink
Yeah.
and thinks that they're about to get with the bartender, but they actually have no shot.
Yeah. All of those. All
That
of the
guy.
bad. Yeah.
Or they're like expecting you to buy it for them.
Sure.
All of the above.
Variations vary depending on what you get dropped in, but
I also think we need a fly paper sticky bar floor, just one that hasn't been cleaned in years. And if you
Ooh.
don't have the special shoes, you stick to the floor after like 2 steps and you're trapped there because there's been just so much beer and vomit on the floor over decades.
I like it.
Yes. Henchmen. Who are we employing to defend us? My first thought, I don't know why, ninja vampires.
I feel like you gotta supply a lot of blood for that.
I feel like we're
To
going to be
make it
a
work.
heavily sought after group, and they just our presence, our aura is just going to bring them to us.
Mm.
But I just figured ninjas usually, they thrive in the night like vampires. Why not just put them together? Why not make ninja vampires?
Here's my thought about henchmen. You want to treat them well,
Of course.
and you want them to be loyal. So I think there needs to be a wing of the underground complex that's got a similar vibe, but they don't have quite as many things as us because we don't want to get them like uppity or like think.
Yeah, they're not
think
us, but we want to
they're
treat
not
them well.
us.
We want to treat them well.
Could use some company.
But a place to work out, a place to like a gun range, a place to like
a movie theater.
Yeah, a tailor even to
Yeah.
get like their nice henchman suits. I'm also there's a part of me, just a little split brain, that's like the thumbs from Spy Kids. Do you remember those? Spy Kids had the henchman soldiers that were literally all thumbs.
I don't remember that. I believe you. I don't remember that.
Yeah, you should look it up. It's fantastic.
I'll look it up.
Fantastically terrible movie.
I saw Spy Kids for sure, but I don't remember thumbs. Oh, yes, I do. Yeah. They're thumbs with thumb appendages.
Yeah. Ooh. Like the thumb heads and all of the arms are thumbs.
And the legs are thumbs.
And the legs are thumbs. So,
it's just thumb, 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 thumb.
Yep. So employing those, I feel like, would be beneficial for us. But then you have like a little bit of a hierarchy.
Yeah.
Of like the higher floors get more amenities, and then they're like the actual like thinking henchmen that we trust with things that get like penthouses almost, but underground.
Yeah, we have our enforcers, we have our henchmen, we have our ground troops, we have our bouncer. We need a bouncer. We just stop people from coming in at the beginning.
And a butler. We need a
butler.
We need an evil butler.
An evil old butler. He's got to be old.
Yeah, at least like mid 50s.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking hair. Like 60, 65.
Needs to have seen some shit.
Like Master Roshi level, but like before he.
If he's 65, he needs to look.
He doesn't.
Younger.
Yeah.
I just need Ian McShane.
He's got the white.
That's
the
who
white.
I want.
Like.
Yeah. Not as he's a silver fox. Yeah. For sure. Rick, what else is going in our secret lair?
Ian McShane.
Yes. Besides Ian McShane.
What do you mean? No, there's nothing else. Like
it's just an empty space with Ian McShane. That's all you want. Nothing else.
That's it.
Okay.
I
It's
think you'd be
weird.
able to guide us in our general do battery, you know?
That's a weird evil lair. Just like guys, let's meet at the lair, and it's just Ian McShane.
But also the bar and
Oh, you
and
said
the-
just Ian McShane. So I
I'm
was like,
sorry, I didn't know what else I was included wasn't there.
I thought you were redacting everything before then.
No,
and
no,
just
no,
putting
no,
on
no.
Ian McShane. Okay.
I mean that would be good enough, but also
So in addition to everything we've mentioned, Ian McShane.
yes.
Any last minute things we need to add? I'm not going to recap all this because we've said 1,000
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
Just a billion things. There's got to be a lazy river.
And the way you get out of it is last call. That's how you,
God damn it.
that's how you escape.
On that note, it is time for last call. Gentlemen, tonight for last call, we're doing classic Would You Rather.
Ooh.
Classic Would You Rather. I got the game pulled up. We need to play this in like real life at some point whenever we get together again, which we got to figure out probably maybe after this call. But anyway, Drew, would you rather be the donkey in Pin the Tail on the Donkey or the pinata at a first grade birthday party?
Ooh. Pinata.
Rick, pinata or donkey?
Yeah, give me pinata.
Fair enough. Drew, would you rather travel everywhere by piggyback ride, so you get to ride on someone's back, or by riding a very large pig, assuming they can carry you?
I think pig.
Rick?
One more time?
Would you rather travel everywhere by piggyback ride, so riding a human,
Mm-hmm.
or would you rather ride a very large pig?
Yeah,
Assuming,
give me the pig.
yeah, okay. Drew, would you rather all mani-pedis are done by kids, or all massages are done by kids jumping up and down on your back? Assuming like you have to get a mani-pedi and a massage.
Oh yeah, give me the massage probably.
Okay, Rick.
I think
I
the
like
jumping on my
that.
back.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I don't like
going
my feet
massage.
touched.
Yeah, especially by kids. Drew, would you rather be attacked by one angry dog, or have a sewer rat run up your pants?
Sewer rat.
Okay, Rick.
Sewer rat.
I think that was close, but I think that was gonna be sewer rat. Drew, would you rather eat a gingerbread man that screams the whole time, or eat a gingerbread house as the gingerbread men watch and weep about their home being eaten?
Just watching.
You want to eat
What
the
the-
house,
Yeah, absolutely.
Rick.
Wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Rick's face is so good on this one.
I want to watch him suffer.
Yeah, the house. I think
You're
it was
okay.
the house as well.
Okay, you don't want to eat the actual gingerbread.
Oh
man.
God, our house!
Not the gumdrop buttons.
My gumdrop button. That's exactly where my mind went.
Drew, would you rather get a misinterpreted foreign symbol tattoo, or get a tattoo of your ex's name? This one means love and water. No, it doesn't.
I think misinterpreted tattoo.
Okay.
Same. Give me the misinterpreted tattoo.
Yeah.
Okay. And Drew, would you rather have your face covered in bees, or your privates covered in bees? And yes, you're getting stung in both instances. Get stung in the face or stung in the privates.
Oh,
God.
yeah, that's a hard one.
It is now.
Heyo.
Would it be?
Fuck. Give me the genital.
Genital.
Ooh, wow. I gotta go face. I gotta
Face.
go face.
We'll go.
We need to talk. We need to talk about that one afterwards.
We'll do a couple more. Drew, would you rather have bad luck in the kitchen, where you like cut yourself or burn stuff or burn yourself, or bad luck in the bedroom? Where Rick and I are blatantly winking. Obviously, they're like,
You can hear it all. You can hear
If you could hear
the winking.
hear our winking. I think I said Blake, but we're winking.
does bad luck in the bedroom mean I'm gonna cut myself also?
Nope. Nope.
Good question.
I'm just saying.
You're going from 1 minute to 20 seconds. Or 20 seconds to 3 seconds.
Give me the bad luck in the bedroom.
Bedroom, okay. Rick?
Well, I already have the bad luck in the bedroom, so I don't have bad luck in the kitchen, you know? So
Fair
I'll
enough.
stick with
Fair enough. Drew, would you rather break your tooth while wearing braces, so it's kind of like still dangling there?
Ooh.
Or have undestroyable but misaligned teeth, so they're all like jagged and shit?
Oh, shit.
You got like a one weird dangling tooth, or just a
yeah.
bunch of gnarled teeth that you can never fix.
Fuck. Pass?
Nope.
Give me the braces.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't feel good about it.
There's not a good answer.
No, there's not a good answer on this one.
This is not like revealing about you. Both of these are bad. Rick?
I want the misaligned but indestructible teeth.
Yeah. Last one, Drew, would you rather have naked butts in your face while you eat? So like I'm gonna say like within
Whose butts?
just butts. So like
Good question. It's a good
Butts.
question.
Just saying.
or have to always eat in a bathroom stall.
Give me the butts.
You want the butts.
Yeah.
So every time you eat, there's just gonna be butts in your face.
Yeah.
Okay. Rick, butts in your face or bathroom stall?
Give me the bathroom stall.
Solitary eater. And you have a built-in table. You just
I got
turn
a
around.
table. You know,
You have a table. Just turn around and you're good to go. Well, that was it. That was our last call. We did it. Short and sweet and to the point. This has been another episode of Banter Podcast?
Wow.
Am I from
Give that Bob at the podcast over there.
Woo,
Just Travis up from New England here.
my Boston accent's coming out of my podcast.
Yeah, well, your khakis sound like your khakis.
Wow. New episodes every Wednesday. Like and subscribe. Link in the description to support the podcast.
Podcast.
There's another thing I usually say. Social medias at _bar banter, except for Blue Sky. We're just the Bar Banter podcast. I think we might just be the Bar Banter. I don't remember anymore. You can find us. Just search for us. I just remember this is our podcast. Our podcast, and you're just along for
podcast.
podcast, and you're just along for the rad.
You just on the
Is
podcast.
that Southern? What is that? What is?
No,
what
I
is,
think you're mixing a lot of different.
Well, podcast is
Podcast.
Okay, I love you. Bye bye.